Nefertari and Kenjay here with Distance Learning for English Language Arts Grade 9. This is Week 2 and Lesson 7. Today's video will include a list of the resources and materials needed for the lesson. I'll provide a brief overview of the learning you can expect from the lesson, model the reading, thinking, speaking, and writing required for the lesson, and preview the learning for the week. Read with a family member, caregiver, or friend. Closely read the text, authors William Shakespeare, and pay attention to the teacher's annotations to be able to answer analysis questions about the text. Think about the following question. What do Shakespeare's early works suggest about his beliefs? Then talk with your family member, caregiver, or friend about what you already know about Shakespeare's education. Lastly, we're going to write about author's word choice and analyze the craft and structure. We're coming to the end of our obligations of all of our activities with the William Shakespeare text. Let's prepare for today's learning. As an overview for our lesson today, we will be focused on a close read of the author's word choice, and we will analyze the craft and structure. We're still in our Shakespeare text. We're reading William Shakespeare's biography, so the only materials you need today are the learning packet, a pencil or a pen, and your electronic device or smartphone is optional. Now, today, in our analysis of the craft and structure, we always look even deeper into the text when we analyze craft and structure. We look at word choice, we look at the author's purpose or meaning. So our target for today, I can determine word meaning in context and cite text evidence to support my own answers to questions about complex text. Now, as we analyze for the craft and structure, this is what we're thinking about. What do Shakespeare's early works suggest about his beliefs? Again, what do Shakespeare's early works suggest about his beliefs? There is a hint, and I will point that out in our reading. Our activities for today, again, we're going to do an activity on author's word choice. Here you will see outlined many of the vocabulary words that were new to you when we started reading this lesson last week. There are 7 words I'd like for you to define, not using the dictionary or even your electronic device as support, but try your best to use context clues. Those words are merchant, heiress, speculation, innovative, reconciliation, skeptics, and aristocratic. So, of those 7 words, please choose 4 of the words that you are able to define through context. I will give you some tips on how you can use context clues to define those words. Lastly, you will answer 2 analyze the craft and structure questions today. The first question, what do Shakespeare's early works say about his beliefs? We just went over that one. The second question asks about what is inferred, and we did inference yesterday. What can you infer about the connection between Shakespeare's wealth and his ability to follow his own destiny? Or even in a universal sense, not just Shakespeare, anyone's wealth and their ability to follow their own destiny. Now, here's how we find out context clues. What are context clues? These are hints that the author gives to help define a difficult or unusual word within a text. The clue may appear within the same sentence, and if it's not in that sentence, you should look in the sentence which follows the sentence in which the word was used. Context clues often mean we don't have to check an online dictionary or another reference material allowing us to continue reading with less disruption. So that's the benefit of using context clues. It's like being, an investigator at work. As you're reading, you don't want to have to stop and continually reference the dictionary. You want to be able to tell what that word means using the words around the word in question. Let's look at some examples. If you'll go back to this section we looked at earlier this week, where we looked at an example of figurative language, you will see the word speculation. So let's read the sentence before and just after that so that we can figure out what speculation means. It says, Shakespeare's life, there were no records that exists. Scholars call this period the lost years. There is much speculation about what he was doing during this time, but no one is sure. There's a clue. Speculation means wondering. There was many questions. They didn't know, but it's a deduction that they made or an assumption. And the way that we know that speculation refers to not knowing but assuming is that it says there was much speculation, but no one is sure. That was the clue. Now, here's another example. I didn't give you the word metrical, but I could have, because let's look here in the writing style section. He primarily used a metrical pattern. Metrical as in music? Well, let's see. Let's read the sentence afterward. He used a metrical pattern consisting of lines of unrhymed iambic pentameter. There it is. So even if you don't know what iambic pentameter means specifically, you do know that a metrical pattern refers to a rhyme scheme. So you will see a metrical pattern in a poem or a piece of prose. Here's our last hint I want to model for how you can get answers in today's lesson. Go to this section, Establishing Himself. That is in paragraph 9, and look at the highlighted portion. I'll read it aloud. Shakespeare and his business partners built their own theater, which they called the Globe. He also purchased real estate that earned him a lot of money. Sounds like Shakespeare had some money. What does this suggest about the connection between his wealth and his ability to follow his own destiny? Let's read the sentence that's not highlighted. There's even a clue here. This money gave him the time to write his plays without having to do other work. Sounds like the answer to me. If you own real estate and it gives you money, it frees up your time so that you can write plays and be a famous playwright. Okay. Always pay attention to the teacher's annotations because I am giving you the clues to answer this question. This is the section highlighted, and the question is, what do Shakespeare's early works say about his beliefs? What did Teacher Nefertari underline? It says that these early plays of his, Richard II, Henry VI, Henry V, all of these plays dramatize the destructive results of weak rulers. Sounds like Shakespeare liked strong rulers, not weak ones. That's what I would surmise. Okay, your turn. Again, you're going through author's word choice, determining the meaning of 4 words using context clues, and then answer 2 analyze the craft and structure questions that are outlined here. As a reminder, always share your lesson, what you've learned for that day, with someone in your family, one of your classmates or friends. Always complete 20 minutes of reading after finishing your lesson for the day. Then complete your reading log. And don't forget to do your fluency exercising using 1 page of the weekly text and the fluency instructions that are included in your packets. For tomorrow's learning, that will be lesson 4 or day 4 of week 2, we will focus on think about it and writing a summary. So let's read our target. I can use annotation and analysis skills to determine the main idea. This is not new to you, but we're going to use our analysis skills to figure out what the main idea of this text is, and then we'll write a complete summary of William Shakespeare's biography. If you have questions, always email your teacher for support. Use first name dot last name at detroitk12.org. Bye. Thank you.